Now let's see how that's all looking. Like we should be online. Just a quick audio test 1 2 1 2. Alright, that's good. Okay, cool. Now I can close that. And then right, yes. Okay, so after the end of the previous stream, we did get a few follows because we rated Alicia, you know, and she's very nice, by the way. And yeah, you know, she gave us a shout out. So we also got followed by Cross District Devourer. I think these were also related to the raid, but they didn't quite register properly. So let me just copy the name and just do like a manual alert for those. Alright. And then save that. And then, where's my thingy? Okay, so now this should show Pep. Also, of course, a great thanks for the follow. And then we also have Elliot here. Let me just add them into it real quick. And yes, Elliot. So again, like the follow is very much appreciated. And then let me just set it back to default for one follow. That was like the day after. You know, I'm always curious about those because like what content did you find? Like how did you get in the channel if it's like online? So like how like what could have been so interesting? But there we go. Arm the Cyborg also. A great thanks for the follow. Very much appreciated. So now with 2 minutes in, we've got. Now we're caught on the alert, so I can just hop back into the stream manager. Yeah, okay, all looking good so far. And now, as some of you might know from the various announcements, we are doing a pretty special event for the entirety of this month, which is just I'm gonna do a stream every day with some sort of transport theme. And all the weeks are themed as well. Today is the driving week, as you can see in the title. It's in the title, right? Yes, okay. So now all I gotta do is just pick a random game. So RNG 17. Okay, so it's gonna be game 7. Now, yes, there's only 6 games that we're gonna pick randomly, but I have 8 games total, so that, you know, we get like the full 30. So where is my thingy? Let's see, the data, add games. There we go. Driving. Okay, so 1. Well, that's a set one, so I'm just counting that. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, like, it's the final one, of course, so like, I didn't really have to worry about that. But yeah, okay. So let me just grab the game's information. Okay, so today's game. This game is Wraith. Who made it? There we go. The TheDoctor989. Please can we just like select the text, add it and copy paste. Published in 2024. Okay, so do that. Now we pin it. I probably should like do links. You know, I'll do this for the later days. Okay, so let me also just update the title accordingly, if OBS cooperates, that is. Alright, so Wraith 2024. I'm pretty sure that this is a horror game, so you know, like that's a bit of a thing. Also, I gotta do like one quick thing for setup. If you there we go. Okay, cool. I've got my audio. And I just got this image here to be like, hey, you know, it's something interesting while we're loading up the game. So, .exe, yes, unrecognized app. I trust it's gonna be fine. You know, would be funny in like the most horrible way if like it's not actually a game and I just get screwed over. But let's just assume they're like acting in good faith. Ah, you're right. Okay, so that's gonna be an issue. Alt Enter. Okay, cool. Then I did have another app for this in case they didn't want to like cooperate. Alt Snap. There we go. Open. And then okay, that's good. Okay, so that's just to move the window. I already forgot how you went about oops, I already forgot like the how you resized windows with it, which is kind of embarrassing because I did like check it earlier this week or like previous week. That's fine. No, wait, oops. Open file location because it did have the open file location because it did have like a note where it's like, oh hey, this is how it works. Alright, so Alt to click and drag and resize. Oh, I think that's holding. Okay, so the right mouse. Let's see. Okay, so Alt and right mouse. There we go. Okay, good. Ooh. Oh no. Right, okay, this might kind of break it. But let's just assume it won't. No, just because that's the nicer assumption to work with. Okay. So let's just hope there's nothing like important on like the part of the screen that doesn't really work. Also, let me just remove the image and get the capture going. Game capture. Okay, Wraith.exe. Come on. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that should do that. And then we just do Alt and yeah. Okay, so that should be it. Yeah? Okay, cool. Okay, so now about 10 minutes in, should be a bit smoother for the later games, especially if they come with a windowed mode to begin with. But you know, like all the time when these small games aren't like designed for like being on one monitor while you're also streaming, so you know it's like understandable. It's and I can forgive it. No, like it's a lot more difficult to like actually adjust the game to that. It's been 2 months since I've graduated from college. I received an important call that my mother was sick. Straddling my bike, I took to the open road. If I want to make it by tomorrow, I'm gonna have to drive through the night. 26 miles through Salt Flats County, and I can see my mother soon. Okay, you know, like nice open, basic premise. Do see a few errors, but like that doesn't matter too much. Okay, so let's see how the game works. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Ah. Okay, that's a bit too loud. Yeah. Okay. So W. Right. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Wow. Now I do notice that our lights are pretty garbage. So it might be a bit difficult to like stay on track of everything. Wow. Okay. I need to like readjust myself so I can actually properly be able to steer. Oh, those visual effects are not helping navigation, by the way. Well, at least it's like relatively straight so far. Ooh. Okay, but it's still pretty tricky. Still, whoa. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay, we got this. We got this under control. As a matter of fact, I drove IRL yesterday for a bit. It's been like the first time in a while because reasons. But you know, like it still went pretty well. But to be fair, that was like a car, not a. Oh, we interrupt your broadcast to bring shocking news in what's been called the self of 28-year-old Michael Niketevish has been found dead or something. I don't know. Yeah, look, their shoes was made in window mode. It's like the lore is important. Like maybe they're like actually reading it out, but you know, since the music was so loud, it's like you can't really like adjust that. Like from moment to moment when you're also trying to drive, so like, yeah, you know, like that's just the audio balancing. Like they don't really have an excuse for that. No offense. So far, pretty cool game. Ooh, okay. Okay, you know, pretty straightforward. Other than that, mildly unsettling. But yeah, as I was saying, like you know, like when I drove yesterday, it was just a car. You know, I don't really do motorcycles. Plus, that's also like a whole different license, so then you also have to go for that. And you know, getting the driver's license for your car is expensive enough, yeah. So I'm just gonna keep it this way. Is it thundering? Like is that like lightning flashes? Also, what's there in the distance? Like, it almost looks like a lighthouse. What that can't be. Is the billboard maybe an advertisement? Huh. Oh, a gas station. Right, I see. Well, just keep driving. It was like 26 miles, right? So that shouldn't be too Okay. Well, that's not expected. I will have to admit that. So maybe they want you to stop at the gas station? I mean, like, yeah, I can do that. Like, normally it's like, oh, you know, there's something there, but if you drive fast, and then there's either some indication that you gotta go back, or it's just, you know, not something that's like necessary for completing the game. But here you just get respawned. Or maybe it's like some sort of magic. No, there's seems to be like something weird going on with the game and the story. So who knows? Who knows? I sure don't. I can tell you that much. The music is like quite a nice funky beat though. Okay, is that in the distance something, or is that just like dust on my screen? Oh, I should really start like cleaning my screen. Like this is just like pretty got it. Come on now, Woofer. Yeah, okay, broadcast, yada yada. Someone, blah blah. Okay, so far so good. Honestly, would have expected a Raven to pop in again because it was like, oh, stream when, even though, like, this one has been planned for like, well, at least a week. He knows that this was gonna be a stream. He's like, oh, stream when, but you know, he's also like, kind of just trolling with that, like in the funny, just like being a city goober way, right? No, he doesn't mean harm. It's just like he's just being a bit silly, and that's fine, right? You know, a bit of silliness is always fine. Okay. So then when we get here, we actually know that we gotta stop. Wow, this thing, like, it's got like quite a steering. Ooh, and then the random light flashes, and then we're almost at the gas station. You know, like you could see it like before the turn, like in the corner over there. But now we're like actually heading for it. Okay. So I am guessing we need to stop at the pump. Or not. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Like, hey bro, I don't know. Okay, we just got a car there. Or are we just like freaking sliding? Just like meow. But like, I'm pretty sure that if we go here, then... Eh? I don't know what's going on now. Apparently, that was the way to progress. Okay. Okay, well... Eh? Oh, so is it like a chase sequence? And now we just like need to avoid... Okay, first of all, why is the road suddenly like 3 times as wide? And secondly, why are there just a bunch of boulders like strewn about? Like, this is... Like, I don't know, it just feels a bit silly as concept now. No offense, but like, it is a nice chase theme though. Okay, we got this under control. Oh, no, not the visual glitches, please. I can barely see. Yes, it is. Ah, okay. You also like need to dip from side to side to like see if there's anything like right in front of you. What? I'm sorry. Was that a car that just dropped itself into? Right then. Alright, you reflect on your close encounter. The drive to your mother's house is quiet and eerie. The police found the wreck weeks later and rule Samuel's death as an accident. No one knows what happened and you intend to keep it that way. Why? What the fuck? Who is Samuel? Wait a minute. Is Samuel the guy from the news alert? Like we're just driving, and then we stop at gas station, and then someone chases after us. And it doesn't even look like we had any like role in that. Cause like, bro, we were just running away from them. Yeah, this is very confusing. Yeah, I know, like the thing with these random itch games, of course, is like I did try to look for like a certain expected duration. You know, like it's still pretty unpredictable, so some of them are gonna be shorter. And it seems that this one. Okay, so Samuel was incarcerated for a murder of someone else who was 28 years old. I didn't quite hear the name. And he's driving a red Chevy with white trims, if I heard correctly. And he just wants to kill you for no reason, it seems, because it doesn't appear like you, as the player, or as the protagonist character, have any active role in that. And I do wonder what happens if you just like go out into the flats. Like, wow, look at it. Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Wait a minute. Is this road again? Oh, looks like it. Ah, cool. Okay, now what if we go here? Okay, like this is just like quite eerie. Well, like this isn't even part of the horror, I believe. It's just like it's got these endless fields of just rock or sand. No, don't destroy me. And then like the gas station is somewhere around here, of course. Yeah, you know, like they did say it was like Salt Flats County now, didn't they? Yeah. Oh, but that's like pretty interesting. Like you got your basic premise, and then like halfway through, it's like, oh, some sort of twist. And then you have the goofiest chase scene ever, because again, like the road was wider and there were like borders thrown about, and like I hoped it would be a bit more like engaging, a bit more active. Yeah. But still pretty like it's a sweet and short, or no, short and sweet is the order of adjectives usually. Game. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. I wonder, like, did I maybe go to the wrong side? Because it does seem like the fields are just kind of endless. Wow. Yeah, it's like when you stop at the gas station, he just goes and kills. No, like he woke up that day and shows violence, it seems, for no reason at all. He was just evil. He just was like, oh hey, let's kill someone for fun, because why not? Ooh, hello. Okay, cool. So we're on the road again. I'm not sure if I'm going the right way or not. Ah, frick. Let me guess. I was somewhere around here. Yeah. So now I'm assuming that like the main trend is still gonna be straightforward, right? So I wonder if you can just like skip a bunch of the road and the turns by just going like this. Because I also thought like, oh hey, if you would go turn distance from the road, you'd be like stranded or something. But no, you can just like explore the salt flats. You know, it's just kind of funny, you know. It gives you a bit of freedom to just do whatever, even if there's not really any content, of course. I mean, like in the Raven, please. Like I announced it like a week ago, and then like a few days ago I also like more specifically like what the kinds of games would be, and then yesterday evening I even put it in the Yes, rage bait is good. I actually mentioned that like earlier about how you like to rage bait people and how you're being silly with your whole stream when thing. But yeah, you know, like I even put it into the Twitch. What's the thing? Like the built-in scheduler, right? Now, let's see. Like, do we actually progress now that I like went off the road, or have I just like entirely lost? It's adorable when you are frustrated. I don't even know what to think of that. Like, yeah, like genuinely, I want to be something at it, but I just genuinely don't know how I should feel about that. I do not know. Just straight up. That's well then. Okay. I mean, like funny, sure, but adorable. Like how would that even work like that? Friendly? What? How is friendly adorable? Like I fear that I am missing the link between. Oh, okay, yeah, no, okay. So yeah, I just kind of just goofed around on the field. Okay, since you're here now, I'm just gonna do like the playthrough normally. So basically, like you're driving to like the player character's mother is sick, so you're driving through the night to get there, and you're driving in this like very remote area. But then some way through, you get like a news broadcast to interrupt your music about the 28-year-old Samuel. I forgot his last name already. but okay, you know, like I'm just gonna play normally, and they will see. Also like the distortion effects on the audio are a bit wild. Like, calm down, game, calm down. You gotta chill. You gotta chill. Yeah, then like he's been incarcerated for murder or something. So is this like a horror game? It tries to be. Nice. We interrupt your broadcast to bring shocking news in what's been known in the Southwest County or something. 28-year-old McTavish has escaped prison, and he's been incarcerated for some sort of murder of someone else who's 28. This game is pretty short. I do have to admit. So maybe you want to stick around. Yes, and then it's like, oh yeah, he's been spotted in a red Chevy, I believe. You know, like in one from the song, like, bye bye, Mr. American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. But yeah, that one. And it's a red one, and it has some sort of white detailing. And then, you know, like you just keep driving along the road, and you're like, oh well, that's clearly a Chekhov's gun. You know, like it's gonna be relevant later, and the later will arrive at some point. And you get like the light flashes to just like, I know, ambiance. Like they don't really seem to have any relevance. I think it's really just ambiance. And then in the distance, we can see what will turn out to be a gas station. And it's like we stop there, and there's like very clearly the evil murder car. So then we go to the wait. I'm curious. Like, I think I saw something lying there, or was it just like the staircase here? Oh, I wonder. Can we go in the house? No. That's a shame. But yeah, anyways, like you stop at the gas pump for a bit, and then you drive, and then suddenly the road becomes wide, and there's a bunch of obstacles on it, and like it kind of makes no sense. It's also not really like the most engaging of any sort of horror things or chase sequences even. But you know, it's like simple and short. It's just like basic concept, I guess. I think like, yeah, you know, like I didn't crash before because it was pretty easy. And then it's like, oh, Different ending? Ooh, okay, now I'm curious. Oh, this is like a whole cutscene. Okay, that's pretty cool. Is he gonna drive over you? Satisfied chuckle, he begins dragging your dead body to his car. He buries you and your motorcycle out in the desert. No one discovers your body, nor do they discover the terrible fate that has befell you. Your name is forgotten, and you fade into forgottenness, I guess, along with the victims who met your shared fate. So is it just like, is this guy just murdering people by driving? Food is cooking, very nice. Okay, okay. So we just did the second ending. No, because I wondered what happens if you crash, and then he kills you. So that's pretty interesting. But you know, I'm also gonna do like, oh hey, at least you don't have to do the whole game again. But now I'm gonna like win this chase sequence. It would be very embarrassing if I didn't end up losing now. To show you the other ending. Okay. Right. Okay. There's, like the road is suddenly 4 times as wide as it was before, and just has a bunch of rocks. But like I'm wondering, like, did this killer just place those out before? Like, what's the logic here? Like, how does this work? How did this happen? What's going on? And then apparently at the end there's like a turn or something, but you don't actually see yourself making the turn. And then, well, you know, you'll see. Just give it a few more rows of rocks, and oh, it just keeps going. Wow, I think this is almost as long as like the preamble. Wow. And then suddenly, like, the goofiest crash ever. You know, you just see him like launch over the cliff. It's like, bam! Like how deep was that? If it takes that long for like the impact noise. And then there you just have the car burning. And then it's like, wow. You drive away from the wreck, and you reflect on your close encounter. The drive to your mother's house is quite an eerie, because like the drive was to visit your mother who had died, or was dying from like disease. The police found the wreck weeks later and ruled the death an accident. No one knows the truth of what happened. I mean, like, to be fair, it was an accident. So, you know, and also like you didn't have any active role in it, so like, hey, you know, like, fair is fair. Right, yeah, with that shorter game and a bit of a shorter stream, I think that's like good enough for today. Though no, wait, actually, I do have to yeah, you know, like itch games, they tend to be pretty short, of course, but I will actually open up Paint to like be rambling again. Alright, how's that looking? Yeah, okay, cool. Because oh no, like you already know what's gonna happen. So yeah, you know, like yesterday I did a bit of a drive, and it was mostly fine, right? No, also very much on topic, of course, that I drove for a bit. But yeah, so it was mostly fine, right? But then but there was something really unusual, and that was a German, or as we like to call them in the Netherlands, especially when we're annoyed at them, a moth. And surprisingly, he actually drove well. Like, he knew what he was doing somehow. Somehow he had more than 3 brain cells. So that was like very shocking. At least you're not Belgians. Oh, I'm gonna get to that, by the way. Like the only thing he did was like, oh, okay, you got your road here, right? You know, like your road here, and then you got like a bicycle crossing here. But you know, like they got the, as we call them in Dutch, shark tooth, which basically means like, oh hey, you know, like if you come here with your little bicycle, then you have to wait. like it doesn't really matter which vehicle. Like whenever there's shark tooth, it means like, oh hey, the one that they point at is the one that has to wait. But anyways, this driver just, despite that, was like, oh yeah, sure, I'm gonna stop and let you through. But I also couldn't be too annoyed at that, because like he slowed down at like a reasonable pace. You know, he just approached that slowly already, because you also have some of them, and they just they just like they see that thing, and they decide to like freaking slam the brakes. You know, like okay, this is a bit cartoonish, of course, but they just decide to like freaking slam the brakes. Be like, oh hey, yes, there you go, cyclist, there you go, you can go through, that's fine. And that's like really annoying. Like at least do it like sensibly and calmly, and like gradually, instead of just doing this for no fucking reason. And you know, like sometimes that's Dutch people also, by the way, but most of the time this is done by Germans. So you know, having one still doing it when they're not supposed to is like, okay, is expected, but you know, at least he behaves, right? Okay, and then of course we went a bit further. Oh, okay, solid color and no outline, and this one and this one. Okay, cool. But then of course, you know, like you have your right. Yeah, let me just draw the thing. I'm sure some of you are familiar with this, but a roundabout. And then of course you got like the thing in the middle. And there was like one of them. And he, and you know, like I was approaching here, right? And a Belgian was going like this. But and then this would be roughly the moment where you'd be like indicating, so that people that approach know that they can go through, because the ones that are on the roundabout, they get to go first, right? They've got to go through. But then he doesn't fucking indicate, so you wait for no reason and slow down for no reason, because you could have just gone. And that's always like so annoying. And then was like something like, I don't know what exactly I said, but I said something like, ja, gebruik dan ook je knipper, kutbelg. And then my brother was like, oh, you know, like that's a pretty basic phrase. You know, like you should also, like I also use things like, oh hey, it's not holiday lighting, or like it's not just for show. And then I was like, yeah, no, but you know, like, hey, that looks like a skull. Oh, hi Matthew, welcome. Well, this is actually a roundabout. I don't know how long you've been here, but yeah, it's a roundabout. And this here is like me, and this here is a Belgian, with this orange marking being like the moment you should like indicate if you decide to go off. Because otherwise, you're hey, look. It's still not an oval, you know, because the SpongeBob reference in Negnasu's stream. Like, I still recall that. But yeah, anyways, I'm just expressing my annoyance at that. Because, you know, people on the roundabout, they get to go, like, first. And people that want to get on the roundabout, they need to wait for the people on the roundabout. So then you slow down, because he doesn't indicate that he's gonna leave. Because then you expect like, oh hey, they're gonna go through, and then you can't go through, because then that would be a crash, so you'd slow down. But then he decides to go off anyway without fucking signaling. And then I mentioned like that I said something along the lines of, gebruik dan ook je knipper, vuile kutbelg. And then my brother was like, oh hey, that's a pretty basic phrase, you know, like don't you have a bit of variety of like, it's not holiday lighting, or the lighting is not just for show. And I was like, yeah, see, I save those phrases for when it doesn't actually impact my driving, or doesn't like do something too significant. You know, like when I see like in the distance someone acting like that. But if it's like actually like in the moment, and it makes that you have to slow down when you don't actually have to slow down, then I tend to use like the more to the point kinds of phrasing. Yeah, okay, but that was like the way to the destination, and then the throw, like just going back home. It was mostly fine. Though we did have like a few Germans that they were like a bit slow for no reason, you know, like yeah, you know, because Germans when they get here, they love to be in a road that's 80, right? But then guess what kind of speed they're driving at? Guess what kind of speed they're driving at? And there's no reason to be slower than that, by the way. But they decide to go 60. Or like at 50, they decide to go 30. You know, at least when they're like in a center band, because then usually like, especially if it's a bit tighter, like the limit is gonna be 30. At least then they don't drop down to 10. Like at least then they're at like reasonable speeds. But like on the outer roads, they're just like being an absolute pain. Oh right, and there was also one, and there was a light, right? And the light has 3 colors, of course. You know, and as we all know, it's like, you know, green is go, yellow it depends on how far you are and the speed you have, and red is stop. I know you had that one, right? And there were a bunch, and there were like a few cars, and you know it turned green, and I was like approaching from here, and you know, and I was thinking like, okay, you know, like I gotta slow down a bit because like, hey, it takes a bit to get these things into speed, right? But I had to stop because the light turned red, because they were incredibly slow with that. So then I was like, well, it doesn't get any greener now, does it? Green means go. So then I was like waiting there, which is really annoying, especially because the car was how do you say in English? It was loch, which means that it's pretty heavy and not really nimble, which means that getting it going from 0 is always a bit annoying to actually go and do. So that was like, like bro, just gas pedal. You know where the gas pedal is, and you can just drive. And also, like, if you're driving a manual, don't gear up too early, because then you have slow acceleration, and people want to get through this green light. That's green for a reason, because the green means that you can go. Yeah. Well, yeah, you know, like, other than that, it was pretty much fine. Then there was also like a construction zone, which was like a little annoying to navigate, but fortunately like not too much traffic overall. So you know, like that's pretty much fine. Other than that, and yeah, at least there wasn't like anyone doing like any sort of major dangerous things, because that also tends to happen. Like at least like the Germans, right? They just don't use their indicator lights, and they drive very slow for no reason. But generally that's not too dangerous, it's just really annoying. Belgians, on the other hand, they're just like going all over the place and doing whatever they want, and then suddenly a right hand overtake, and suddenly just full stop for no reason, and just like swerving all around, doing a freaking 360 or a 720. I hope there's a special place in hell for those kind of people. Traffic would be so much more smooth when everyone would just drive as they're supposed to. I do expect there to be like a special place for them, indeed. Right. But yeah, no, like basically Germans are just inconvenient, and Belgians are like a fucking hazard. The French, they tend to be sort of in between, but fortunately we don't get too many of them. So that's like manageable at least. And yeah, I do have a few more traffic related rants, but I want to save that for another stream in case there's like more people that are gonna be a bit right, sorry, words, right. I have some more rants, but I want to save them for other games because it's just random itch games, right? So some of them can be pretty short. Like today's was only like 10 minutes, and then I made it 20 just by playing it again and seeing if there was like anything interesting in it. So yeah, like I want to save that for if there's other short games because some of them can be hours and some of them are just a few minutes. So yeah, I don't have much more to say, and I will just end the stream here today. Bit short, but yeah, it happens, right? It's what I accounted for in my schedule, and it's also why I just have like unknown length at the Twitch schedule feature. So yeah, I do want to thank you for stopping in and just chatting for a bit. And then, well, I hope to see you in the next one. But seeing as stream time overlaps with Nag, it's like I understand if you're like just hang out there. But yeah, I do hope you have fun and do hope to see you in like later streams. And I wish you a nice day. Goodbye.